You will hear Larry Elliott, president of the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society at the time, commenting while on board the Clelia at the wreck site of the Edmund Fitzgerald in 1994.
Looks like a beer can or something. Pop top?
Yep, it is.
Branch even on the Fitzgerald site.
The next segment is from the November 10th, 2005 30th anniversary service for the crew of the Edmund Fitzgerald at the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum. You will see Tom Farnquist of the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society introducing Lieutenant Commander Gwalchmai.
At this time, I would like to introduce a very important player that made the recovery of the Edmund Fitzgerald valve possible. And the gentleman I have with me tonight is Lieutenant Commander Robert Gwalchmai. He was head of the Canadian Experimental Diving Unit. He was also in charge of all of the dive operations aboard the vessel Prologue that oversaw the dive expedition in the safe recovery of the valve. And I could go on and on about Lieutenant Gwalchmai, but I'll let him speak a bit about it. And I would certainly like to welcome the commander here again to Whitefish Point. Would you please come up?
Well, I was very honored back in 1995 to be given an opportunity to take part in what I consider a very honorable enterprise. And once again, I'm very honored to be asked and provided an opportunity to take part in, again, what I think is a very honorable occasion. A bit about myself. I've been in the Canadian Navy for 31 years. Another interesting thing that I thought was kind of neat is one morning just before we were going to be diving on the wreck, a few of us were sitting around talking about, I think it was the pros and cons of Canadian beer and American beer. Cheryl Rodman, the daughter of Ransom Cundy, one of the crewmen on the Edmund Fitzgerald, was sitting there and she was enjoying the conversation. And she piped up, she said, you know, my dad just loved drinking beer. And I thought, well, how would you like to take him? She said, what? I said, well, I can get you a beer. We can put it in the tray at the bottom of the window of the submersible, and we can take that 550 feet down to the bottom, and we can have the new suit reach into the tray, get that beer, and reach in through the window and set it there for your dad. Well, I think everybody, Emery Christoph, myself, and Tom was there, I'm sure he would have had tears in his eyes. But we got a beer. Cheryl went over and said a few words to her dad, put the beer in the bag, in the carousel, and, well, there's a picture that's flitting around. Actually, it's over here on the corner. Where the new suit is reaching in through the window of the Edmund Fitzgerald's pilot house, and he's handing him a beer. I thought, well, regardless of whether you subscribe to drinking or not, that was a beer for her dad. That was pretty cool. Thank you very much.
Anybody better. TW has become a very good friend of the Shipwright Society.
The 1995 archaeological license to dive to the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald specified that no penetration of the wreck by persons or objects shall take place, including wheelhouse, deck cabins, or any other enclosed space on the vessel. Lieutenant Commander Gwalchmai was an honorary board member of the Great Lakes Shipwreck Historical Society as recently as 2006.